It's time to draft. Mike would be good. It's time to draft, everybody. We're doing it live like we always do. You know, let's see, Saturday, sometimes Sunday night like now, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, midnight. We do a lot of drafting and mock drafting and live drafting and all that at midnight. Pretty much every other night I go live at midnight. These are the midnight shows, the graveyard shift. Frake is first in the building. File on in. It's time to draft. We're opening the phone lines. We're talking 2023 free agency. We're talking 2023 quarterback movement. We're talking 2023 running back movement. Important dates we need to share with you in terms of the NFL season coming up. Franchise tag, deadlines, all that stuff. The Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now. File on in.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and tonight we are live drafting on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I'm going to drop that link in the description or in the live chat. It's in the description. I'm going to drop it in the live chat in 1 second, and then you guys are going to jump on into the live drafts, and we're gonna get to it. We're going to open the phone lines. We're going to talk about free agency. We're going to talk about franchise tags. We're going to talk about everything we can fit in to this hour or so that we're live. So if you want to dial on in, you can go ahead and do that now. I'm going to grab the link and drop it into the live chat. This is Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Let's see here. Let me grab this link and put it in there for you. And then we're going to get into the lobby in just 1 second and start drafting. So here's the link right now. I dropped it. I'm pinning it. Make sure you're signed up and ready to go. And then I'm going to tell you when we're going to go into the big board $10 entry lobby. You'll see it right on the screen right here. The big board. Okay. There's a bunch of things you can navigate to on this carousel here on the homepage. The first one should be Monday puck drop. That's hockey. You're going to swipe over to what should be the second. I don't know. I'm still getting that lag. I apologize. Swipe over to the second option, which is the big board. And then you're going to go ahead and click it. Don't jump in yet. This is $1 million in prizes. I'm going to go over everything here. $200 goes to first place. Second gets $50K. Straight on down to look at 26th through 100th place. You get $1,000. If you get 100th place, 98th place, you get $1,000. The tournament schedule is weeks 1 through 14. You stay in the league that you're drafting in. So you're going to draft in a group of 12. You stay in there. The top two teams, I believe, top one or two. I don't know if they're going to announce it. I don't know if it says it in here, actually. It's usually the top two teams in that league go to week 15. And you can see that's the qualifier. You go into a new group of 12. The top one or two from that league that week in week 15 go to week 16 and so on until you get into week 17 where everybody that's left, there's usually like 200 or 300 people. They fight for who's going to score the most. 0.5 PPR, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, and 12 bench spots. It's a big, long draft. So we'll probably only get to do one of these because it's 20 rounds. And I don't know if I'll even stay during the whole 20 rounds. We might jump at like 12 or around 14. But we'll take some phone calls. We'll do it live. Let's get into it right now. Go ahead and click the green enter button. Your boy Smitty, because of the 5-second delay on YouTube, I'm going to wait. And I'm going to click it in 3, 2, 1, boom. I'm in. Let's see how many. We got a lot of spots. 9 more spots. We're going to get a lot of people in this one. That's great. Sometimes you jump in and there's like 4 spots left when I jump in. So we've got 7 more spots available. So you have plenty of time to get into this draft. Good to be here. Voice of Reason says good to be here. Appreciate you, voice. What's up, Liz? What's going on? What's going on? Ada's in the house. Mason's in here. Frake was first in the building. Terry Roberts in the house. Terry, appreciate you, pal. Last couple ranking videos have been fire. Thank you, Smitty. You bet, Richie Rich. I've been working hard overtime trying to make sure the content is churning out, and I think it's been quality, top notch. I'm biased, but I mean I've been putting in some major hours into the editing and making sure those videos are popping. If you haven't seen them already, guys, I dropped my top 10 rookie wide receivers. I dropped my top 10 rookie running backs on the main channel. We might go we may go live after this on the Dynasty channel. I haven't decided yet, or I might just do a post-production video that I'm going to upload tonight. I haven't decided yet. We'll decide at the end. We need 6 more people to jump into this draft. So jump into the draft. I'm going to put this on here that the link is in the live chat and description. Link in live chat and description. There we go. Link in live chat and description so everybody knows. And then the code is promo code Smitty. Code Smitty. Make sure you use the code promo code Smitty when you sign up. There we go. Let's make that sucker green. All right, we got 6 more spots before this draft is full. Jump in, jump in, jump in. Code Smitty. Do it live. Do it live. Phone lines are open if you want to dial in beforehand or after. Whatever works. Richie Rich in the building. Travis Rowe in the building. Travis, Richie Rich, Frake. I appreciate you all being here. Willie, appreciate you, pal. And Sean. What's up, Sean? So I've been doing a lot of these drafts, and Ron, you mentioned this to me. I don't know if Ron's in here. Ron mentioned that like it is easy to fall into the same pattern. I think that was a good comment Ron made. So try and vary things up a little bit once in a while. Don't get stuck in the same draft over and over and over. You know, that doesn't give you a lot of variety. However, if you feel like there's a certain plan of attack, let's say that plan is Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker in round 2. Like there's no shame in just piling on one draft on top of another of taking Walker and Breece Hall in round 2, but just make sure you're doing variation on top of it. So if Ron's in here, Ron made a good comment on that earlier today to me. He's like, you get in a rut, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of have not a rut, but a pattern, and I've been drafting a lot of the same teams over and over and over, and I like it because there's certain guys that just are amazing value, you know. Also, make sure you're not doing too many crazy things with ADP, like in terms of reaching. Like if you're looking at this right here, like let's say Breece Hall you want, and you're picking number 3. Don't take Breece Hall number 3. Breece Hall is ranked all the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th running back ranked. Meaning if you go to the overall board, Breece Hall is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He's the 25th running back ranked, or 25th player ranked on the overall board. So if you take Breece Hall, like even pick 10, you're not drafting smart. Doesn't matter. This whole like get your guy is like to a degree. But if you aren't being smart with it, like look at where Mahomes is ranked. He's ranked all the way down, well outside of round 1. There's no need to take a quarterback in round 1 because the ADP is this list right here. The suggested rank 7 times out of 10 is going to guide people into a place. I got the 2 pick. Attaboy.
To the moon.
7 times out of 10, this pre-rank list is going to guide people for the most part. It's going to send you in a direction that you're probably not going to deviate too much from. So be careful when you're drafting, not to you got to take advantage of ADP. What's up, Ron? I was just saying earlier, like when you had said to me, you said, drafting the same team over and over. I was saying that's a good point. People need to remember that and try and vary things up. But I was also saying that at the same time, if there's certain value, I like kind of attacking it and then just building different versions of that around the value that I continue to draft. So it's like I give it a take. All right, let's go Jamar. But I was also saying, make sure everybody doesn't reach. The thing that's great about these paid drafts is like no one's gonna come in here and screw up the drafts because you're paying $10 an entry. You know, this is the best ADP there is. Let's go to the big board because these are all paying drafts. These are all people that got skin in the game. You know, I feel like there's a lag. There's a big lag. So it went Jamar Chase. Well, it went Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill. I wish there wasn't like this drag on my screen. I don't know. I'm going to have to, maybe if I make an update on a few things. I've also had to clear some storage. Sometimes I notice my computer starts lagging when I start getting a few 100 gigabytes remaining on my hard drive. I'll have so many videos. Videos take up so much. I have to clear my hard drive like every, I don't know, like week and a half. I have to like clear about 80% of it. All the video content that I have on here. Videos take up a lot of space, especially if it's like HD. I mean, you're talking about gigs per several minutes. Every several minutes is like a gig. Hey, I'm going to mod on my phone. All right, Terry. Appreciate you, Terry. You got the 11th pick. Rogers in the draft with the 11th pick. Atta's in the 12th spot. Let's see what's happened so far. Justin Jefferson, Chase, McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Taylor. Is that one of ours? Is that JT one of ours? What's going on there? Man, that's the furthest I've seen Kelsey drop lately. Eckler, Bijan, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, Diggs. Interesting. Doing it live, Mitch. Doing it live. Willie says, Smitty, what do you do with the second overall pick in a super flex? It's always quarterback, bro. You don't, in a super flex, you don't ever stray from a top 4 quarterback if you've got a shot at taking a top 4 quarterback. Ever, bro. I don't care what your idea is. You just abort that idea. It is 100% a winning formula in a super flex to draft a top 4 quarterback. And then once you get to round 2 and round 3, bro, return to normal. That's fine. But don't even dare let a quarterback go if you're in the top 4. 49ers in the 4 spot. Appreciate you, Mitch, being here. Rogers in the 11. Atta's in the 12. Ron Navy's in the building. TD Strikers. Ron Navy's on the clock. He's got A.J. Brown right now. CeeDee Lamb and Cooper Kupp to Uncle Ben. RDJ's got Diggs and Saquon. Adams and St. Brown at the 12-13. That's the highest I've seen St. Brown go in a draft so far this year. Jalen Hurts going to TD Strikers. He loves, if there's anybody I can count on stacking, it's Ron Navy in a best ball draft. No doubt about it. But, I mean, I think Jalen's going to have an even bigger year. What's up, Niner Rick? What's going on? All right, Waddle, Garrett Wilson, all nice picks, guys. Continue dropping the fire. Patrick Mahomes. I'm okay with a quarterback in round 2. Just I don't think there's a need to grab one in round 1 because the suggested rank is gonna, like I said, 7-8 times out of 10 be really, really high, on the money. Kenneth Walker. Boosted. Who are you going to pair with Tyreek Hill, buddy boy? Who are you going to pair with Tyreek Hill? 13 seconds boosted. T. Higgins. Fantasy 420. Who are you going to pair? Who are you going to pair with Christian McCaffrey, my guy? Josh Allen, okay. So, I can't pass on Breece Hall here. I just can't do it. No, siree. Bearman. I don't know if Bearman's one of our guys. Josh Jacobs. Doesn't feel like it's one of our guys. Nick Chubb, okay. So I'm going to stack it. Ooh, this is a nice little stack. I mean, let's just take a look at our options. We got Devontae Smith, Debo, DK, Olave. A lot of nice options on the table. We're not going tight end. RBs, we could take Henry. I mean, it's just because you can't trade. It's a no-brainer for me. Without a doubt. I just want to look at the options. Your boy getting the stack. Jamar Chase, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow. I haven't had that yet. I'm feeling pretty excited about that, to be honest. I haven't been able to do that yet. Get the Burrow and Chase stack with Breece Hall, or the Burrow and Chase stack with Walker. I don't know. Maybe I have, actually, on the Walker one. I'm liking that. Fantasy, Christian McCaffrey, Josh Allen, and Debo. Very good stack. Feels very similar to mine. Tyreek, Higgins, ETN. I like it. I like it boosted. We've got the number 5 pick, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Devontae Smith. Number 6 pick, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and who's he going to grab right here? This is going to get interesting. Derrick Henry. That's good value at this point. Like I do feel like I would in a regular draft not let him fall this far. I think the reason his ADP is so. I mean, look at the guy I was definitely a year early. We knew that was possible, but everybody's treating him like I was treating him last year, because the 28-year-old, he's 29 now. And the fact that you can't trade him in a redraft where there's trading, you'd see him go higher because people would have that comfort of, oh, okay, I can trade him after about a month if I want to. You're screwed. If he falls off, you're screwed. So it's hard to use your first or second drafted player draft slot on Henry. But third round, I probably would. Right around here's where I would take him. I wouldn't. I think it's decent value. It packages in the fact that he could tail off at the end of the year, but he could explode out of the gate. Stevenson in the 3rd round, scary to me because of Bill. And Bill drafts running backs, and while I love Stevenson, I don't think you can find many people that love Stevenson more than this channel. And but that doesn't mean that there's not some concerns, especially at the end of the year. He kind of got in the doghouse a little bit, from what we could tell anyway. Bill doesn't really share much, but Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tony Pollard, and then back-to-back picks here. Let's see what this guy does here from the 12 spot. Oh, who's from the 12 spot? Is that Ada? I think Ada's in the 12, or Travis. I forget which one. Tony Pollard. This is either Ada or who's in the 12? Which one is in the 12 again? I forget. 49ers in the 4 pick. We'll have to look for his team. Henry in the 3rd is a steal. He's still a high 2nd round pick to you, says AJ. Yeah, 3rd round, I'm fine. I mean, I'm telling you he's one of my bigger busts this year, and I would take him in the 3rd round, so that tells you it's pretty good value. Herbert, how the mighty fall. Travis is in the 8 spot. Okay. Hopkins is a little early there, Uncle Ben. I think he'll get traded to like Chicago or something though, and it might be a good, pretty good pick. But I don't know if I could take him in the mid 4th or early 4th round. TD Strikers has Chris Olave, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. He has like a whole Moon Men arsenal, a mix from last year's and this year's. Look at him stacking the Moon Men. 2022 and 2023 Moon Men galore right there. Every single one of those guys is a Moon Man, previous or past, or past or present. There's Rose from the 8 pick. Bijan, Garrett Wilson, Fields, Drake London. Be a little careful with Bijan, but I don't know that you would have got him at 17, so it's not crazy. Just be careful not to drive his value up too much. Lamar, the double QB, it's not crazy to do the double QB in a single QB league when it's not super flex and a best ball, given the rotational scoring. All right, I better get over to my queue and start looking at some players. Boy, this is going to be tough. Let's see here. Wide receivers are thinning out pretty badly. Tight ends. Okay, so man, I don't know that I love Terry McLaurin here. Some of these wide receivers down here are just too low. I guess I'll go McLaurin. He's such a tough wide receiver to, there's my team so far. He's such a tough wide receiver to bank on. He really is. I love him. He's a talent, man. He's a talent. Godwin and Pittman. So I need an RB. While I don't want to take Gibbs too early, when he's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth running back down, and you're not going to get him back, I don't think that's too early. But just be certain you don't reach much more than that, because you gotta figure if he's like 8 running backs down, you're probably gonna have a good shot at getting him the next time around. So reaching a little bit is fine, but just make sure you're staying in round 5. I think anybody that starts taking Gibbs in round 4, you're gonna be getting in your own way. You're gonna be ruining your own value. Round 5, I'm okay with. Let's see here. So my team so far is this team right here. Joe Burrow, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin. Pretty well-balanced squad. I'm pretty happy with that so far. TJ Hawkinson just went. Hi, Smitty. Hello, everyone, says Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? Wanted Watson there. Had to go with London. I like London, Travis. London's on the satellite man. And you know what?
Satellite men. Space cadets in training.
I don't know, Ron, I don't know if you're talking about Gibbs, but I mean, I don't know that I would take Gibbs in round 4. I don't think you need to. Well, I mean, in our drafts you might, but on the regular I wouldn't. I've been getting him so late. Travis taking Kyle Pitts, one of the Moon Men. Look at Travis's team. It's all
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
This is Travis's team. He picked Bijan in round 1, Garrett Wilson round 2.
Space Monsters.
Fields isn't on the Moon Men list, but Drake's on the Satellite Men, and then Kyle Pitts. So he's tearing into the Moon Men on this draft. Kittle, Swift. I would have taken, like, Pitts is going to fall normally. Terry says satellite men or players that can jump to the they can jump up to the main shuttle. And honestly, London's definitely on the verge. Keenan Allen and Damian Pierce, Tony Pollard, Amon-Ra, Adams, pretty good squad so far. Let's go. Who's this guy? Is that Ada? Tyler Algier. Okay. Let's get Skeletor on that Satellite Men list. Maybe. Skeletor concerns me just because, I don't know. DJ Moore. George Pickens. Man. TD Strikers. I knew you were going to grab him. I was hoping he'd fall. I knew he wouldn't fall in this group. But Pickens would be a good next pick for me. I was tempted to go Pickens with my last pick, but it was just too early. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to screw with it. I didn't want to mess with, the potential upside. Dalvin Cook has fallen so far. I mean, Henry and Dalvin Cook have fallen so far. It's crazy. And they haven't even like officially dropped off yet, but we're predicting the decline, right? So pretty easy to see it coming. But I'm surprised that the bigger, grander, larger population of drafters are seeing this coming. Let's see here. Man. Why do I keep drafting Kamara? I'm the I keep doing it. I can't help it in round 6 and 7, around the 7th turn. I don't know why. I can't stand him. On top of that, I think there's a really strong shot. You know what I might be doing? This might be the psychology involved here. I might be drafting Kamara so that if I'm wrong on him being suspended and just falling off and everything, then at least I get to relish in it. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Here's a problem. I don't like any of these players here. Yeah, let's go Waller, I guess. So my team so far: Joe Burrow, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Jamar Chase, Kerry McLaurin, Waller. I just don't mind Kamara at the 7th round territory. Like if you got the turn picks or close, like I had the almost turn picks, the picks right before, it's not a bad value for Kamara 7th round. I'm sick in the head. I mean, it's good. It's 7th round's good value. 7th round's. Look at the RBs that they're there. I mean, of course, there's some sleepers I love, and I'm trying not to ruin ADPs and all that. But it's like Kamara and Sanders, Connor, James Cook, Brian Robinson. I mean, you can't argue that there's not value there. All right, where are we at? SF is up. Then I don't know. Some of these names are weird. Can't stand him, but he'll draft him. Absolutely. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to draft someone in round 7. No offense to that pick right there, but Burks. But I mean, like, are you really not going to take Kamara over Burks? Are you really not going to take Kamara over Gabe Davis? Who I like Gabe Davis, but Kamara over Jordan Addison. I mean, Addison could end up being pretty good, but I mean, Kamara's it's not bad value. Did you cover the Cowboys? Intrigued by Stroud. No, I haven't yet. We'll touch on that tomorrow. We'll touch on all the news tomorrow, broski. Our DJ is almost on the clock here. Uncle Ben, who you drafting, broski? Tyler Lockett. I like Burks, but I don't like his situation, to be honest. Like I liked him coming out of college. You know what worries me about Addison? Addison's either gonna be he's either the next AJ Brown or he's the next Corey Davis, or the next AJ Brown or the next like Burks feels Burks or the next Burks, and maybe that's a good thing. But Burks to me felt like he was going to be the next AJ Brown or Debo or the next Corey Davis, and I really liked him early on, but then I backed off hardcore walking into the season. I didn't want anything to do with Burks. I liked him a lot. I felt he was a very good value. I felt like he's one of the more NFL-ready wide receivers in the class. But it just goes to show that this is a situation where Miles Sanders, Cam Akers, Zach Charbonnet. I would have taken Charbonnet way ahead over in place of Kamara, but I don't want to start triggering early drafting of these guys. I don't want to be responsible for that. Maybe later on I'll be taking them. Like, I'd much rather have Charbonnet than Kamara, but I didn't want to kickstart that, because then you guys start doing it, and then all of a sudden Charbonnet's getting drafted in the 4th and 5th round, and it's ridiculous. We can't have that. So I let him fall. I knew he probably wouldn't make it back to me, but I let him fall, and I knew one of you would scoop him up. Zay Flowers, that's a great pick there, Ron. I like him a lot. I think Zay could end up being the number 1 wide receiver in this rookie class. I think by the end of I know myself pretty well, and I think by the end of next month, I could see him easily being my number 2 or number 1 and me having to redo my video. I love Zay Flowers. I think his combine is going to make him vault into a lot of people's number 1 wide receiver, rookie wide receiver. Let's see here. RBs. I don't know who to pick here. Oh, Q Dalton. Yeah, I'll let it select Dalton for me. I need more wide receivers. I've got 3 pretty strong running backs. I've got Darren Waller and Dalton. Zay Jones, I guess. Feels a little early for Zay. Thoughts on Bieniemy to Washington? I don't know. It depends on if he believes in Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell a lot. It would suck to click on Brian Robinson instead of Bijan. I occasionally think of that for a split second when I see Brian Robinson. When I get down there, I'm like, well, for a moment you think, is that still Bijan? But you're going to see Brian Robinson ranked so much lower. Like you probably can't do that when you're drafting Bijan. But I wonder if someone thinks they're drafting Bijan in the 7th or 8th or 9th round. They're like, yeah. They click it and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. That's not him. So many guys had to take Charbonnet there. Yeah, I hear you, man. You didn't reach too much at all. I would have been reaching a lot to grab him where I wanted to grab him instead of Waller. But I just didn't want to ruin his ADP. I don't want to kickstart a trend. In a normal draft, if we weren't drafting with all of us, Charbonnet would have fallen to my 8th round pick. Hobbs, sorry about that glitch on the screen. Hobbs says he doesn't understand the lateral move to a lesser team. Well, I mean, the reasoning's very clear. Whether it's a smart move or why he needs to do it is, I think he wants to be a head coach, but he can't get taken seriously for whatever reason. People have tried to say it's like stuff that I think it isn't. I don't think it's anything relating to some of the controversial stuff that people are throwing out there. I think he ultimately is a very bad interviewer, very bad, because the other things people are trying to allude to, conspiracies about why he's not getting hired, doesn't make sense. He's on one of the most successful in one of the most successful offenses for the last decade. And he's had like 15 interviews, and no one wants to hire him as a head coach. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he's a very weird personality and a very bad interviewer, and he doesn't feel like a head coach. And he's got to work on that. Apparently he hasn't. And people have mentioned that maybe he should, hire someone to help work on presenting himself or whatever. It is what it is. You're trying to become the head of a team. You're the head coach, head of the team, head coach. And if you do really bad in front of, the media or in front of people when they ask you questions, there's a lot that goes into being a head coach. And they're probably just thinking when people interview him, like, he's amazing at what he does, but A, he doesn't play call, and B, he's got an awkward personality during interviews that makes it really hard. So yeah, the word is very clear that it's not anybody trying to exile him or anything like that. He's just a very bad interviewer to the point where people are worried about him, running the show. So the back to the question, you don't understand why he made a lateral move to a worse team. Well, he's gonna be play calling. He wants to prove that it's not Andy Reid, because Andy Reid's play calling, it's Andy Reid's system. So you got to ask yourself, what does Bieniemy even do? You know what I mean? Like, am I out of line by saying if Andy Reid is the best play caller we've ever seen, or at least right now? He's literally, ESPN was talking about it. I'm talking about it. Doesn't matter if ESPN's talking about it, but I'm saying that Andy Reid's one of the most influential and amazing play callers that we've ever seen. And he's calling the plays, he's designing the plays. So what has Bieniemy done? What do we know that is he just a motivator? So I don't know. I don't think it's all that crazy to be like, he's got some stuff to prove. Let's see here. Monty's pretty good value right here. Yeah, I mean, like someone answer that to me. Like, if anybody wants to call in and argue on the side of Bieniemy. Someone call in and argue on the side of Bieniemy. Like, if you've got a good argument. Like, why does he deserve a head coaching job or even an offensive coordinator job if he literally doesn't call plays and he doesn't design them? He's been involved in an amazing offense for a long time, but what's he do? Pat rear ends? Good job, Billy. Get back out there, do what Andy says. So he's trying to prove he can do it on his own, bro. And if he's the offensive coordinator and he does it again and he calls the plays, he's gonna get a head coaching job whether he's awkward or not. So I think it goes something like this. Yep, this is where's my headset? I think this is how it goes in KC. Blue 32, hatchback 7, power 5, Mahomes scramble, Rosie Posey to the right on 5. Tell him, Eric. Rosie Posey, hatchback 7, 25, blah, 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 blah on 5. I think that's what he does. He relays it in a very, very amazing way. Because we know Andy Reid's calling the plays. We know Andy Reid's designing them. I really don't know what he does. He's a butt patter. There you go. Get in there. Slap on the rear end. Get in there. Get in there, boy. Bieniemy can shine learning from Reid. I mean, he's been there for a while, bro. And he can't seem to shine. So that's what he's doing. The team patter. This is what I think happens, right? Yeah, Eric, this is Andy Reid. Yeah, Andy, what can I do? We need some more Danishes and another thing of coffee, brought to me. Can you go ahead and take care of that for me? Sure, Andy. I'll be right back. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna go. Can I have 10 Danishes? Look, it's Eric Bieniemy. He's at the stand getting some Danishes, a couple pretzels, and a whole case of a boxed coffee. He's just in the normal crowd, buying food for Andy Reid. Eric, I really need a cheeseburger, bro. Can you bring a cheeseburger to me ASAP? We're in the fourth quarter, Coach. You're not doing anything anyway, Eric. Go give me a cheeseburger now. You know, and if you think I'm making fun of Reed, I'm not, because he loves cheeseburgers. He makes it very clear cheeseburgers are his favorite thing in the whole wide world. Man, a cheeseburger sounds good right now. Maybe I go to In-N-Out. I've only eaten once today, so it's not the craziest thing in the world for me to go get a cheeseburger and have a second meal. In-N-Out, animal style, grilled onions, mixed, you know, that's what animal style is. Pickles and grilled onions instead of the raw onion. And that sounds good right now. Smitty, it's Andy. You're forgetting the cheeseburgers. This is how Eric Bieniemy would draft. I'm almost on the clock. I don't know what to do. Andy, what do I do? Andy, what do I do? I'm on the clock. This Bryce Young kid's there. Okay, Bryce Young's there. Take him. He's next to little Mahomes. Okay. Let me just take a look at. No, don't look. Okay, never mind. He told me not to think. We're gonna go with. We got no backup quarterback yet. This is a rotational thing. We're gonna go with Bryce Young. Do it live. How many wide receivers I have? 4. I got 4 RBs. I got 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. Okay. These wide receivers are looking bad. Let's go quarterback shopping again. Let's get a good little rotation going. Jordan Love. There's the board. Coach, I took Jordan Love. Eric, damn it, Eric. You just took a quarterback. Now you got back-to-back core. You got 3 quarterbacks. Only one can play, Eric. I'm sorry, Coach. I couldn't help myself. I saw Bryce Young and Jordan Love. I didn't know which one I wanted, so I took both of them. Is that okay? I'm sorry. Eric Bieniemy is probably going to do good. No, I don't know. No, he's not. He's in Washington. If he believes in Sam Howell, I think Sam Howell could be good. Really love, do you have Dobbs? Really love, do you have Dobbs? I don't know what that means there, Ron. Andy loves cheeseburgers. He does. What's up, Mel? Mel says bye. Are you leaving, Mel? Man, I could use a cheeseburger. I could use a cheeseburger, but I mean, then there's this. Johnny Lawrence says, Smitty, I got 40 days though. April 1st, and it's not going to be an April Fool's. Told you I was going to get in shape. April Fool's, I didn't. It's not going to be that. I'm doing pretty good. I'm 218 right now instead of 223. I didn't lose any weight since the last time I changed this, but I've been maintaining very well. It's insurance bet. Stroud. Am I still on the Trey Lance bandwagon? Bandwagon? That's not the proper terminology, Brandon. It's not the proper. You're using the word bandwagon wrong. Bandwagon's when someone copies like a big amount of people. We've got let me see them touchdowns with a $5 holler. Appreciate you, my guy. Just wanted to say thanks for the help this past season. Was 12-2, but lost the final with Burrow and Chase not playing. I'm sorry about that. That was so crazy, man. I still think about that. I'm like, what a waste of a season. This is what, and it doesn't make me not want to play. And anybody that says, oh, I might not play anymore, like, whatever, cap. I say, people that say I'm not going to watch football anymore because of that.
That is cap.
It is cap. You're going to watch football. You know you're going to watch football. But what a debacle. And I was very, very open from the beginning. I was very sensitive that day that all went down. I went live. We didn't want to talk. We wanted to talk about, prayers up and all that. And I did all that. But I was very open from the beginning that we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We are human beings capable of being upset about our fantasy season coming to an end the way it was and still having good positive thoughts and energy for an individual that needed it. But like, I was very open about that and very, very clear that I thought it was handled poorly and it sucked. It sucked. It shouldn't have gone that way. And when people said, oh, fantasy's nothing right now, like fantasy's garbage. No, I didn't agree with that. I never agreed with that. I didn't say yes to that. I pushed back on that from the beginning. That was the worst ending to a fantasy season. And this is my job. This is my job. I make no apologies that I didn't want to cancel the game or that I had concerns and questions about football at the time. And people were like irate if you talked about fantasy. Like, how could you talk about fantasy like that? Because it's my job. How can you talk about, are you going to work? Are you typing up TPS reports at work? That's what I thought. You're going to work too, Bobby boy. Let's see here. We need a WR. We need a WR stat. I will go with McKinnon for right now, I guess. Guy's like 50 years old, though. Let's go with a WR. Sorry, Ron. I'm going to take Allen Robinson, assuming Bear doesn't take him. Open up your phone lines. Try now, Ron. Try now. Anyway, appreciate you. Let me see them touchdowns. Appreciate you, Ron Navy, with the $2 open your phone line holler. You probably won't like that I just drafted Allen Robinson. So I've got Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, Jordan Love. My QBs are Burrow, Young, Love. Breece Hall, Gibby, the new Gibby, Kamara, Monty, McKinnon, Jamar Chase, McLaurin, Zay Jones. I don't know. Waller, Schultz. Honestly, this team's okay. I've drafted way better teams than this. Part of it's we're sniping each other. Like, it's fun to draft with you all, but I can't get away with what I get away with. Like this whole not taking guys early.
Heck out of me all night, haven't you?
You what?
You've been sniping the heck out of me all night.
Yeah. But it's hard to draft. It's hard to draft with you guys. You guys are too good.
What was your reasoning behind taking Love? You had no pieces to him. You have none of the receivers for him.
Well, I'm not as big of a stacker as you, so like that had no relation at all. Like to me, like I need.
Love isn't hurt. He's not like he's a standalone quarterback.
Yeah, he is, because if Aaron Rodgers stays, they trade him. If he goes, he starts. So Love's a almost guaranteed starter next year.
Whatever.
I didn't. Did you draft Aaron Rodgers?
No, I drafted Watson. Remember?
Yeah, but I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think you were even gonna.
Yeah,
I didn't think you'd even. I didn't think you'd go after Love.
Oh, I always do. I have been, yeah.
You love Love. Well,
yep, I've been taking.
Well, it wasn't even on my mind, Ron, that you were even interested in him, because most people think like you. They're like, oh, he's not gonna. Or I know you don't really think that because you're going after him, but a lot of people think like that. Oh, he's not a starter. I think he's a guaranteed starter. Because if Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, if they don't trade him, they lose him. They're pretty much going to just have him ride the bench and then get nothing for him. He's burning his entire contract up. So
I had to pay too high for Tucker because I knew. I mean, I was going to take Charbonnet, and then I said no. Let me listen to Smitty for once and not raise his draft capital, his ADP up. So I waited around. I was going to take him in the 8th, and then what's his name took him right before I could. That was on the turn.
Yeah.
Whoever's on the turn.
But at least you don't have them the same team every single draft. So that's the way I looked at it too. I was like, you know what? If I don't get him, I doubt I will because you're all going to snipe them. But so be it. I can draft, like you said earlier today. I could draft some different players. It'll be okay. Because
I knew it was going to happen, and I knew you were going to take Gibbs when you took him. I knew you were going to take him early.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't take him that early though. I mean, 5th round, I think is good.
Yeah, you did. But I knew you would anyways. But you did. He's like his ADP is like 60, and you took him at 40 something.
No, I took him at 50.
One away from 49.
Yeah, but it's only 10 spots ahead of his ADP. Like when you know he's not coming back to you. Like I could have done the same thing with Charbonnet, but I didn't.
I would have done the same thing. I would have went there. When you're close to the top, when you're close to either turn,
I don't
got like 16.
We
each have 16 in front of us.
I don't mind driving. I don't mind driving Gibbs's ADP into the high 5th round. I just don't want to be a part of making it like 3rd or 4th when we don't need to have it go that high yet. Charbonnet, I'm trying my darndest to keep him in round 7, 8, 9, and I just hope we don't ruin that.
Well, yeah, I tried to do that too, and it did me no good. I lost them because I waited. I took Robinson. My plan was to take Robinson first, and then I'll come back and get Charbonnet. That way, I preserve his ADP. Nope, I should have took Charbonnet and then went back for Robinson.
Oh. God, I'm on the clock. Hold on. I'm on the clock. Time expired. Who'd I get? Chark.
You got Chark. Yeah.
Not a huge fan of that pick.
He's not that bad.
All right, so here's my question. Oh, hold on. Willie Mays has a question. He says, Smitty, Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins? Well, I can tell you don't watch a lot of the show, so welcome, first of all. I'm glad you found us. But let me show you my top 7 players in 2023, bro.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Garrett Wilson is one of the best 7 values in fantasy football 2023.
And spinning aimlessly in space.
So that should answer your question right there, Willie. Garrett Wilson by 1,000 miles. You don't see T. Higgins, who I like, but you don't see him on any Mars men list. Ron, what does Eric Bieniemy do? Or what did he do?
I don't think he did much of anything.
I mean, everyone keeps acting like he deserves this offensive coordinator job, and at first I wanted to be like, yeah, he's been there for a while. The Chiefs have been. Wait a minute. Andy Reid calls the plays. Wait a minute. Andy Reid designs the plays. Wait a minute. Andy Reid gets his own cheeseburgers. This guy doesn't do anything. And he's a bad interviewer. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a thing where they're actually talking. It was is ESPN or one of those places talking about Lamar possibly thinking Lamar should go to Washington Commanders. So I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Roger says work ethic is second to none. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that. AJ Lancaster with a $10 holler. Look at this man.
To the moon.
$10 holler from AJ. AJ says Curtis Samuel outscores Debo in fantasy at his own game under Bieniemy. He's going to be my most drafted player in an underdog. Curtis Samuel, Ron, what do you think about that? Do you think AJ is correct? But I guess my question would be, what makes you think Bieniemy is going to turn anybody into something amazing when we don't even know what Bieniemy does? You know what I mean? I don't. You think he's going to bring that KC feel, a KC offensive feel over to. I'm sure he's going to try. It's all he knows, right? He's been immersed in it, but I don't know why Bieniemy. I don't know what Bieniemy, in my opinion, has to do with Curtis Samuel exploding, but we'll see, man. Curtis Samuel's. I'll give you this. Curtis Samuel is a player that I was down on quite a bit last year when he started to rise because I just didn't see it. And honestly, like, he did tail off, similar to what I thought would happen. But I think, I do give him credit, and he is very versatile. It's like he's a versatile player that, if used properly, can do well. The problem is they've got a lot of mouths to feed, and they got a lot of players just like him on the roster. So it's like unless Sam Howell is who I think he could be, and they trust in him enough and they build around him enough, and let's say he becomes the next breakout quarterback. And I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying I like him a lot. He's got a small shot at being that next elite, like, out of nowhere guy. I'm not saying he will be. If I had to pick a guy, that would be one of those guys I would say, kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
So if let's say Sam Howell becomes that guy, then I think there's enough footballs to go around. But until then, I just don't know.
You're on the clock.
Yeah, I took him McKenzie. I don't know who else to pick.
That's who I ended up taking, is Howell, because there's hardly anybody. There's nobody really left.
You know who I just took right now? Tyler Scott. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You wouldn't do that because you can get him in the 20th round.
Just kidding. Just wanted to see what you.
But now somebody's gonna look him up. Watch, and
I said Boston Scott. Someone's gonna take Boston Scott. Well, you might as well take him now, though, because we're in round 19, right?
Yeah, we're in round 19.
Go ahead and take Boston. Who's an offensive savant? If you say Bieniemy, I'm going to ask you to call in, not because I want to tear into you. I just want to hear what you're thinking. Javi, call in and tell me why he's an offensive savant. I'm truly not trying to like argue about it. I want to know what makes you think that, because I don't know enough about Bieniemy, to be honest. Because I don't know. I could be wrong. He could be some offensive genius, but I don't think so. I don't think any of us know, because he hasn't been given any responsibility. So I'm curious. 2-12. Smitty, when you want to laugh about Dynasty, check your Instagram DMs. Okay, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you. And AJ, appreciate your super chat, by the way. And I do like Curtis Samuel. I think he's a pretty good wide receiver, man. He proved he's like a mini poor man's Deebo Samuel. Oh, and that's what he says right here. Curtis Samuel is already Deebo light. Bieniemy constructs schemes. Taylor's the playbook from week to week to the opposing defense. He does a classic job.
Yeah, I told you, Smitty, he did it on purpose. Reactors is in our chat. Whoever Reactors is, screw you guys. I mean, for doing that.
But Ron, I told you to. I told you to take.
I don't care. That was screwed up what he just did, because he heard us talking about it.
Ron,
he's in our group.
But Ron, I told you to take him. I go, you better just take him at 2.
It don't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
Nobody gets more mad than when you swipe. Ron hung up. No, nobody gets more mad if someone snipes you than Ron Navy. Thanks a lot, whoever that is. Reactors. Just got Ron Navy to hang up. Oh, it was Ada. Ron, it was Ada. You done did it, Ada. You done did it, bro. You got the wrath of Ron Navy. Ron Navy wrath coming for you. Oh, man. I don't know that it was because I mentioned it. You've been talking a lot about him, Ron. You talk about him a lot. So I'm sure that's where you got it. Right, Ada? Ada, tell him I didn't convince you to do that. I said Boston Scott. Oh, man. All right, this is... You know who's a guy I like to take at the very end, round 20? Is Ty Chandler. I like Ty Chandler. Somehow, some way, Ty could start some games. Ron, call back, Ron. Come on. All right, here's the draft is complete. Bearman 80 drafting the final piece. Bearman getting the big 3,500 score. No, SF got 36. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar. It's that 2 quarterback thing. I'm telling you, there's some kind of strategic advantage to it. And then draft on a ton of wide receivers. But it's a good team. I mean, the wide receivers are really weak, though. Bateman's the number 1 wide receiver. How is this team getting projected? No offense if Bearman or SF is one of ours. Kelsey, Mahomes, Lamar, Henry, and then look at those wideouts, though. I mean, the projection doesn't mean that's going to happen the way that they project. Oh, Uncle Ben's got 3,700. Daniel Jones, Trey, Matt Stafford. I don't like that. Ramondre, Miles Sanders. No offense, Uncle Ben. Cooper Kupp, Lamb, Hopkins is, good tight ends and wide receivers, but I'm not digging that one. Ron, it is kind of funny that round 19 he gets upset. Blind Larry's coming at you a little bit. I'm gonna unplug my phone because it's getting crazy anyway. But do a draft, guys. They're fun. Blind Larry's coming at you a little bit. In round 19, he gets upset. Ron, you did say, though. Call back in, Ron. Call back in, Ron. You did say, why would you take him? Because he would just fall to the 20th round. And then I said, you better just take him because you just said that. Oh, Ron. Smitty, how did reactors get projected at 3,400 points? I don't know. It is pretty funny. Ron, it is pretty funny when you think about it. The 19th round. It's the 19th round. And, Ron, if anybody... I took Scott in round 20. Ada was in round 20. When you think about it, Ron, you're doing the world a service because you're actually influencing the followers to draft the guy you're talking up. You know what I mean? Here he comes. Ron, did you hear what I just said, Ron?
What, the 19th round?
It was 20th. He took him in the 20th, actually, at the turn.
I know when he was sniping me all night long, and the reason I hung up is because you know how I get. And it was better. I was mad because he did it at first. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it now, but I needed to hang up before I. You know how my mouth is.
You bounce back quick.
You know how my mouth is, and a bunch of swear words were going to come out of it. So I was like, better to hang up than to.
But did you hear what I said? Think about it. In a way, you're influencing a big group of people to draft the guys that you're talking up. Like that's a compliment.
I doubt very seriously, Smitty. You didn't say Boston Scott. You said Tyler Scott. You know what you said. You tried to cover it up.
I was trying to not guide someone.
As soon as you said that, I think that's when you queued him up. not hearing me talk about him. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, let's ask him. Let's ask him to be very honest with us. Ada, would you have drafted Tyler Scott? What's his name again?
You know his name.
Tyler Scott. Tyler, would you have drafted Tyler Scott if I had not said that, Ada? Give me your honest truth. Never apologize.
Yeah, Ada, I know everybody gets sniped. I'm just. If you've listened to me before, everybody know. I mean, I've sniped Smitty. Smitty sniped me. Everybody snipes everybody, and even Smitty gets frustrated when he gets sniped.
You know, we all do. We all do.
If I don't get, if I don't hang up, then a bunch of cuss words come out of my mouth, and I need to let it go.
You recovered quick though. That was like 3 minutes. Ada, can you tell us if you really would have drafted him or not? Be honest. Don't lie. Tyler Scott's from Cincinnati. Who the heck is Tyler Scott? Says Hod. Ada says, I've been drafting him in the 20th round in other drafts because of Ron. So there you go. Ron, he was already going to do it because of you.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
You know, that's a compliment. That's a compliment, bro.
It's fine. I'm good with it. I just, you know me. I react.
It's fine. It's fine.
I react.
I'm fine.
I calm down.
I'm calm.
I calm down.
Like me, your voice got all high. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm over it.
No, it was just like, you know, when you get sniped and then you get sniped again, and it's like, and he got me good. Ada, you got me. Congratulations, bro. You got me 2 times. He got me with Charbonnet too. He got me. Remember, I said I was trying to save his ADP.
He sniped me,
and so I let him go an extra round. But that's when he's got the turn. Ada had the turn, and he sniped Charbonnet.
He sniped me too. I was fine with it. I was fine with it.
Was all right.
I didn't care. I'm not mad at him.
Stop with your Mickey Mouse. Stop with your Mickey Mouse voice.
But
you sound like Mickey Mouse, I swear, when you do that voice. It's all right. It's good.
You know what's the funniest part is, like, these are always the things that don't work out. Like, when we reflect back on this, the fact that you got, like, maybe he's just stud though. Like, that'd be funny too. But, like, what if he ends up being nothing and you're like, do you remember that time you got really mad over nothing?
Well, no, it was a combination of us because he took Charbonnet.
But you were mad at me for drafting Love. Right. I had no idea you even wanted Jordan Love.
It was a combination. I kept getting sniped, and you didn't have any pieces of Love at all. It made no sense to me that you would take Love.
But I don't draft only players that I have other players on that team, though. You know.
No, dude. Hey, it's passion, dude. You get into the middle of it. You've shaken your head, and you've gotten kind of
I've got mad.
Too.
I've got real mad. I get mad when people take. Yeah, or like when people, equivalent would have been if somebody started drafting like Bijan at 2, and they start just ruining his value, and it's like, bro, what do you do? Like, I get mad about that. Well, stop drafting Bijan at 2.
You know, and it is harder when we're doing it like this because all the community's in there, and you know, so you're not getting the players that you normally get when you draft by yourself, because we all draft how your show is. I mean. You put out your videos, you put out your rankings, you talk about these players, and we all draft accordingly to a lot of the way that you're thinking and putting it out there.
Blind Larry says, in the 20th, getting mad, laughing emojis. You really made Blind Larry's day. He was laughing really hard because he was like...
But City, explain to them, really, even not just on here, but even offline, how much I like Scott. It's not a joke.
I think you adopted him.
Huh?
I think you adopted him.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he just was like I said, when I heard the Steelers were looking in on him, he really piqued my interest, and I started like watching a lot of his films, and that's why I was asking you, hey, did you look at the films? What do you think about him? And he's like quick as quick. He's good over the middle. He's got elusiveness, and he was a running back. Like I said, he was a running back up until, all the way through high school, and he didn't start playing receiver until he got to college.
He should be multi-position eligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. I did know about him before, but like I haven't been ranking him high. I admit you're higher on him than I am. But watching him, honestly, when I rewatched the footage after you talked about him, I felt like, yeah, you know what? Kind of like a guy you overlooked that I could see if he landed in the right spot. Like, let's say he went to Chicago and he became Fields' number one wide receiver. Like, then he could do something special. But I think the reason why I'm a little bit like cautious with him is because I don't know that the other teams view him as a starter. And if they start, if he has a great combine and we start hearing, hey, this guy's could be a really good number 2 wide receiver somewhere, then all of a sudden he's on my radar more,
What gets about him is I know that he's on the Steelers' radar, and he's on Seattle's radar.
Later, Javi.
And because Lockett is getting older, and he fills Lockett's spot. I look at him as, like I told you earlier, like a Lockett or a cross between Lockett, Tyreek Hill because of the speed, and Debo because he's got that running back and elusiveness about him. So
can you imagine if Eric Bieniemy gets his mitts on this guy, this savant?
I think what I'll be really mad because, like I told you before, Kansas City has a way of keying on Pittsburgh Steelers players that they're looking at on purpose and taking them before Steelers can.
Yeah, I really want. I wanted Hobb to call. I wanted Hobb to call in and talk about Bieniemy. So I have heard some people say Bieniemy's more involved than people suggest. Then I've heard, Andy Reid designs all the plays, he runs all the plays, but then I've heard things like Hobbs said where maybe he schemes against the other team and he provides Andy Reid with like an amazing amount of information, and maybe that's true too. But I think running, if he's never been the play caller, if he's never been the full play designer, this is going to be, he's being given a subpar offense. So it's hard for me to see this working out for Eric Bieniemy, but we'll see.
I heard the story behind. When they played the Raiders and they did that whole huddle thing and they kind of went in a circle, and then they broke away from that and they went up. They were like going in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
That play, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Rosie Posey, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear the background story behind that?
No, Bieniemy. They let Bieniemy finally get a hold of the playbook, and that's what he came up with.
No. What it was is, I don't know if you remember the time when the Raiders went out in Kansas City and went out to the middle of the field, the 50-yard line where their emblem is, and did a thing, and then that got Kansas City all riled up, and Kansas City ended up smashing the Raiders. And so that was a tribute to Wheels on the Bus go round and round when they were, every time they played the Raiders since they've killed the Raiders, and that was homage to the Raiders. The Wheel on the Bus goes round and round.
Yeah, it was silly. I think everybody thought that was kind of weird, but
it was.
It wouldn't be surprised if that's Bieniemy's play calling style. We'll
Adam,
see.
don't worry, I'm all right. You're just drafting your draft, and it's fine. I'll be fine. I get wound up. There's like Mindy says, there's like sometimes Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I get so passionate sometimes. I get wound up, and
when you hung up, did you let out a big F-bomb?
Yes.
I could just see. Here's Ron hanging up. I'm gonna hang up for a second.
I needed to just like
I'm back.
And I didn't want to like ruin your monetization by laying down I was so close I had to catch myself.
I could see Ron walking off, throwing his hat, throwing a hat on the ground, kicking it, then back on the phone, as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna call it tonight. We're gonna do an hour show, hour and 15 minutes actually. Appreciate everybody being here.
Entertainment.
Yeah, Ron. I mean, You might have bumped his ADP up to the 19th round now after this one. Everyone's going to be after him in round 19. They're going to be like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way Tyler Scott, a.k.a. Boston Scott, is going to fall to the 20th round ever again.
Do you know, like if you look, I've done 25 drafts so far. If you look at your exposures, Tyler Scott, he's like 65% exposure I have him at.
So I think
That's
you're
how much
okay.
I
think you're okay. You missed out on one. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, well, the only George Pickens 86%. He leads all the group, of course.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you Pickett's second or third.
No, Pickett's first.
Okay.
No, Pickett's second. Yeah, you're right. Pickett's second. Charbonnet's third. Jamar Gibbs is fourth.
Jameer.
Then Tyler Scott is fifth. And then Sean Tucker is sixth. And then Fryer Muse,
Tucker?
Flowers. And then, huh?
Tucker? Have you ever seen
Sean Tucker.
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah. Well, no. You asked that before.
You got to watch Ron. Seriously, you got to watch Breaking Bad. It's the best show. That and The Sopranos are the best shows in the history of TV. But there's a scene where you won't understand this, but those that have seen it, Jesse goes to like a tweaker's house to try and get information, and his only way of rationalizing with them is to start digging in the guy's front yard, so that the guy that's tweaking out just is so interested in why he's digging that he'll stop like being aggressive. And he goes inside this guy's house and he's trying to find somebody, I forget. But this guy's just got a rifle over his shoulder and he just, Tucker! Tucker! He just keeps screaming like 50 times in a row, yelling the guy's name Tucker. And yeah, shut the door, Tucker! it's the best scene ever. And I think of that whenever we talk about Sean Tucker, that's all I think about. Tucker the trucker. Shut the door.
You know what could be funny, Smitty? You should name this draft we just did into the Ada Snipes, Ron Navy, or something like that, and then watch when this thing all goes down next year when we get to the thing. Wouldn't it be funny if Ada like takes the whole thing with his team?
Yeah, Ada, if you win with Tyler Scott as your 20th round draft selection, you owe Ron a lunch or something. Smitty, can we do a small
No, you don't
board
know.
next time?
You don't owe me nothing. It's just he.
Hey, Ron, you said that you can only do 2 small board drafts. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you look on it, it tells you, because like with the big board, it says max 150, right? But if you go to the little board, it says max draft and max entries 2. And I'm guessing that's probably 120. And those are the $3 ones. But I mean, the top prize is $10,000. So
max entries 150 on the big board. Okay, so you can have 150 drafts, max entry on the little board 2. Yeah, that sucks. I've got one left. So someone was asking if we could do a big board again or a little board next, and I probably won't have it left by the time we do it again, but we'll see. Terry Roberts dropping a $5 holler. Hey, Ron, I'm going to take all your underdog in the players in the 19th and 20th rounds, bro. Haha, says Terry Roberts. Terry, you're the man. Appreciate you, Terry. Tucker.
Hey, Terry. In that team that we have in the voicemail that we share, we're gonna get Scott, don't you? You better.
Man, I drafted Scott in my last draft in tribute to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about him, and when the Steelers are on a receiver, I lock onto them and I follow them because the Steelers are so good at identifying talent with receivers.
Yeah. All right, Ron. All right, Tyler Scott.
Even 86th round.
All right, Tyler Scott's father.
Tyler Scott's father.
You are his underdog daddy. That's for sure.
Yeah, this was fun. This was fun tonight.
You had fun tonight? Are you sure?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I lost it at the end a little
This is
bit.
fun.
But,
This has been this has been a great time. Ron, oh God. All right,
It
Ron.
was so fun. So.
All right, Ron.
Oh, dang. It's 12:13 already? Yeah, you better go get yourself some food there, Smitty.
All right, Ron. Appreciate you.
All right.
Take it easy. Bye.
Love y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
Yeah, everybody but Ada. All right, later.
Oh, even Ada.
Later. All right, Ron Navy, everybody. Bounces back quicker than Josh Allen throwing an interception. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Go check out the wide receiver rookie video and the running back rookie rankings videos. Those are up on the channel right now. And don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday. So I'll see you all tonight at 7 p.m. However, I'm live whenever news breaks, and I drop all kinds of videos throughout the week anyway. So you'll probably hear from me, see me, whether it's live or an upload or a live premiere tomorrow before the 7 p.m. show. But you'll at least see me at 7 p.m. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Ron Navy dropping a $20 hauler at the end. Ron Navy making it rain. Ron, appreciate you, pal. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all mañana. Get Tyler Scotted.